What's going on at Crystal Palace right now should be paid attention to. Legendary manager Roy Hodgson looks like he's on the out at Selhurst Park, with many speculating whether this was down to poor results or a forced retirement. Now, at the time of recording, Roy Hodgson is currently in hospital, and I want to send out support to Big Roy. It's not fully clear why he's in there at this point, and honestly, it's not my place to speculate on his health. But in a universe where the Palace job is available, we're beating out Oliver Glasner to the top job and giving Mr. Rebuild the keys to the kingdom. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Crystal Palace Rebuild. Here is our default starting 11 that we have been given by EAFC. Let's get to work and make the Eagles European champs. Coming out of the gates though with a player departure, Premier League winner Jeffrey Schlupp is out of the club, selling him to Bournemouth for 4.6 mil, which should probably serve as a sign as to one of the positions I want to upgrade in this opening window. This right here though was a no-brainer to me. I want Dean Henderson to be our number one guy in between the sticks, so Sam Johnson is off to Galatasaray. Getting £9.7 million for a backup goalkeeper is great business. And immediately, we're going to reinvest that money into a star striker. Cucho Hernandez coming back to the Premier League, spent some time at Watford in his earlier days. More recently, he has been tearing it up in the MLS, and this is half me knowing this guy's a stud and that he could do brilliant business for our club. But this is also me, as an FC Cincinnati fan, not wanting this guy to tear us up anymore. He plays for our biggest rival, Columbus Crew. He's a stud. I'm getting him out of the MLS and into the Premier League again. And with Cucho coming into the club, we are going to say goodbye to Edouard. We're going to keep Mateta as a backup striker and sell Odsonne Edouard here to Cadiz. There is a good young core of players here at Palace though that I want to loan out. Adam Wharton is the first of them, off to Atalanta for the year. Really excited about França here. We're sending him to Al Nassr, which wasn't on my bingo card, but I'm happy to do it if he gets game time and growth. Hopefully learn a thing from Sadio Mane and Cristiano Ronaldo. And Raksai, we've got a bit of a relationship building here with Atalanta. Another player off to them. Finally getting our massive left mid player. We needed somebody massive to join us here, and it is going to be the Frenchman Armand Lorient joining us from Sassuolo. £30 million to bring him to Selhurst Park. Very excited what he can provide us on the wing. Really excited to see what this first season can bring for us though. For me personally, I don't want us to be in the relegation battle. I think this team is too balanced and too strong to be in a relegation dogfight. I want to be pushing for mid-table. We're going to shoot for the stars here. But if things go south, we've got a little bit of extra money to make some moves in January. This is exactly what we were after. 1st of January, we sit 13. Similar to Palace in real life. They're a little bit lower in real life. But the thing that I'm happy about is we are 11 points clear of the relegation zone. And just like real life, not Luton in real life, but Sheffield United and Burnley struggling quite a lot. Luton Town having a stinker. So we are looking really good and more likely to push for European football. We're only 4 points off of the Conference League, the Europa League. Why not make that our North Star? So we're going to try making some moves happen here in January. Will Hughes off to Fenerbahce on a permanent transfer, $4.5 million our way. Joel Ward's actually off to Millwall on a permanent transfer, a free transfer as well. He had less than 6 months remaining on his contract. He's in his early to mid 30s now. Just didn't make sense to re-sign him and waste money on that. But I'm trying to get rid of Holding and Lerma here to upgrade the defensive midfield role. I'm not worried about Joel Ward going on a free. Our plan didn't go the way we wanted it to, and with only a few hours remaining in the transfer window, I've decided to spend some money investing in a young left midfield prospect, getting our reserves up. The Icelandic midfielder Hakon Arna Haraldsson is going to join us here from Lille. And the rest of that money is just going to go to the continued improvement of our staff. We didn't hit our North Star, 12th in the Premier League, but that is fine by me. This is exactly what we wanted here in Season 1. It has all gone to plan. 12th with Crystal Palace, 46 points. We were 17 points ahead of Sheffield United, who go down alongside Luton and Burnley. Top of the Premier League table, though, is going to be Manchester City. Exciting to see Fulham in there as a Fulham fan, but Man City winning another Premier League title. Man City also win the FA Cup. Fair play to Notts County, who made the semis. Aston Villa win the Carabao Cup. Champions League goes to Bayern Munich. PSG win the Europa. And Villarreal win the Conference League. Everybody's sharing the wealth in this team, though. Lorient getting 13, Eze getting 13. A little disappointing to only see 9 goals, though, for Cucho Hernandez. I was hoping he would at least get 15 goals. We will be saying goodbye to Joel Ward as he goes to Millwall, and James Tompkins as he retires from professional football. Nice to see Adam Wharton going up to a 74 overall though. Some of our lone players doing quite well in their time out. Really pleased with our start to life at Crystal Palace. We need to build on the foundations though and make some big moves in season number 2. It's no surprise we wanted a new defensive midfielder in the January window. That obviously didn't happen, but we are coming out of the gates and making that our number 1 priority here to kick off season 2. If you're a Bundesliga fan, you might already know this man, but we have signed the Austrian defensive midfielder Xaver Schlager from RB Leipzig. £30 million to bring him across. He is going to be an anchor in our midfield with Decore. Loan move here for Jaden Raymond off to Swansea, and we are going to be cashing in here on Rob Holding. He stays in English football, but he is off to Brighton. And there it is, lads. We've got an upgrade at the defensive midfield role. I wanted him out in January, but we're getting him out now. Adam Wharton's going to Frankfurt, but Jefferson Lerma is off to Fiorentina. Another year, another loan move for Raksai. Again, I apologize if I'm pronouncing any of these young players' names wrong, but he's off to Cadiz. Here we go, though, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to get ourselves a new right back here. Juan Foyth is back in the Premier League, back living in London, but this time he is living in South London instead of North. Juan Foyth joining us from Villarreal. Brace yourselves, lads. We've got a lot more loans coming in. Joe Whitworth off on loan. Matthias Franke, another loan for him. Malcolm Ebawai is off to Besiktas. And I'm going to send Haraldson on loan to Fulham for the year. I mean, he's going to be playing European football before we are. We are going to recoup a large amount of our transfer fee for Juan Foyth as we sell Daniel Munoz, the Colombian defender, off to Aston Villa. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is the summer transfer window in the books. 2 big additions to the side. Only need to pick and choose really with this squad because we've got such a decent young core coming up, but it is a big first half of the season for players like Joachim Andersen and even Tyreek Mitchell. I have got money in the back pocket and I'm prepared to upgrade if we need to, because to be honest, I think we could push for European football this year. Conference League, Europa League, Champions League is really optimistic, but Conference League, why not? Like, even if we go on a cup run, I'm sure that could happen. You love to see it. Beautiful. Why not make the push? I mean, we are 5th right now, 31 points. West Ham do have a game in hand over us, but we are in the hunt for what is an intense European battle. One loss could see us drop down to 9th, and a win could get us into Champions League football. We need to make sure we are there come the end of the season. I did give it a lot of thought, lads, and I have decided to sell Joachim Andersen here, the Danish defender staying in London. It's his 3rd London club now. He's gone from Fulham to Palace to Chelsea. Joachim Andersen, we get £18.5 million back to him. I was a little nervous about selling Andersen. I was a little nervous whether it was the right decision, but I feel incredibly justified now in that because we pick up a bargain and an upgrade here. Daniel Vivian, 3 years younger than Andersen and 2 overall higher. A lot more potential. We get him on a cut price deal of £28 million from Bilbao. But will that defensive reinforcement be enough to secure us European football? Oh my God, all that hope for nothing. We drop off and have shat the bed in the second half of the season. After all that hope and optimism, we finished 1 place higher than we did last year. I'm feeling a little mugged off now and a little frustrated with myself. 11th in the Premier League here in season 2 with Palace, and we're not playing European football next year. Relegation zone. Man United are not playing European football either. They almost get relegated, but it's Leeds, Wolves, and Norwich going down. Scrolling up the table and the Premier League champions, it is Liverpool winning on goal difference here. I take it back. We have won the FA Cup with Crystal Palace. Europa League football coming to Selhurst Park in season number 3. We beat Burnley in the final, Spurs in the semis, Sheffield United in the quarters. We've beaten some pretty decent teams on this path. Tottenham do win the Carabao Cup. How'd we go there? All right, we didn't go on a run in the Carabao Cup, but I don't care because winning the FA Cup is massive. Barcelona take down Arsenal to win the Champions League. Lazio win the Europa. I really am curious to see how we go in that tournament next year. And Aston Villa, fair play, they're going to win the Conference League. Cucho has hit back. He has found his feet in the Premier League. We were disappointed he only bagged 9 goals last year. Well, he's answered our criticism. 27 goals for the Colombian striker, 84 overall. I knew you had it in you, mate. Big season as well for Lorient, 16-4. Eze up to 86 overall. You love to see it. Franca up to a 75. Beautiful. Couple of contracts expiring though. Nathaniel Klein is retiring. Rami Matthews I'm letting go on a free. And Kofi Barma, 24 years of age. He's off to League 2. Here we are. year, season number 3, being in the Europa League gives us a little bit more pull to go out there and get some higher rated players. And one thing I noticed is that Liverpool had an excess of left backs in their squad. So we're going to take advantage of that and get Destiny Udegaard into the club. Might normally not have joined the club considering he was at Liverpool, which at this point is a bigger club, but he wants more game time. We get a superstar. Everybody wins. Destiny Udegaard, welcome to Selhurst Park. Mateta is out of here. He's wanted out of the club for about 2 years now. I've kept him around because I just thought he was a handy backup to have, but he only had 12 months remaining on his contract. I didn't want him walking on a free, so we're going to get just shy of £10 million to send him to Italy. The loan moves continue though, lads. Boateng off to West Brom for the year. We're also going to send the striker Luke Plange to Tenerife. But a permanent transfer here, David Ozo off the Turkish league for a fresh start. Add another loan move to the list, lads. It's growing longer and longer. Jaden Raymond off to Stoke City. And things looked like they went pretty well between Franca and West Ham last year, so we're going to see if Lightning can strike twice. Mateta leaving means we did need to get ourselves a backup striker, so we're going to go ahead here and get ourselves a bargain. Wolves getting relegated from the Premier League means Gonzalo Guedes wants to get back to the Premier League. He doesn't want to play in the Championship, so we bring him to Selhurst Park for £12 million. That is a really handy backup if anything happens to Cucho. Breaking news, lads, breaking news. It's probably a few days old when you guys see this video, but as I'm recording, I just got a notification on my phone saying Roy Hodgson has stepped down as Crystal Palace manager. So count this as my official application for the job, unless of course somebody else has got the job by the time this comes out, which is very likely that he comes out and somebody comes in like an hour's time from now. But right here, ladies and gentlemen, we have an opportunity to start this season with some silverware as we head to Wembley for the FA Community Shield against Liverpool. Can the lads get it done? Come on, Palace. Come on, Palace. Lorient, despite Elise getting a red card, Lorient comes on and gets us a winner. We get another trophy here for the trophy cabinet. Great start to the season. But fellas, if you are enjoying this rebuild and you aren't already subscribed, make sure you go ahead and scorpion kick that subscribe button down below on the long grind towards 1 million subscribers. Big season ahead of us though. Already 1 trophy to start the year. The team's looking good, man. We need, my goal for this year, qualify for the Champions League. Qualify for the Champions League, and that's going to be a massive success in my eyes. I mean, we've already got Elise and Eze, 86 and 87, Schlager and Hernandez up to an 85. This team is coming along brilliantly. But our Europa League group is out. Group B, Celtic, BSC Young Boys, and Lech Poznan is going to be absolutely massive. Some prestigious clubs here, but hopefully we can finish top of the lot. 6th in the Premier League here on the 1st of January. It's not incredible. I want it to be. I mean, I would love to be where West Ham are right now. Franca must be killing it for them because they are top of the Premier League. A good sign though, we top our Europa League group. Not a single loss there. So we'll wait for the results of the preliminary round. Some big names in there. PSG, Benfica, Bayern, my God, Napoli. But I would love if we could win the Europa League. Unfortunately though, we're going to have to rely on the squad we've already built. No business here in January as we only have, what, £51,000 to our name. All right, so this is pretty massive, fellas. We're here on the final day of the season, currently sitting 5th with Crystal Palace, tied with Arsenal on 69 points. And we're versing Arsenal. The winner goes to the Champions League, the loser into the Europa. And I mean, if we lose and Liverpool win, we will drop down to 6th. So we really need something out of this. And we do have a better goal difference than West Ham. So if we draw and West Ham lose, then we should be going to the Champions League as well. Our biggest blow though is that Eberechi Eze is suspended for the final day of the season. We're at home at Selhurst Park. Come on, Palace. Come on, Palace. It's a draw. Oh my God, it's a draw. Please tell me West Ham lost. Oh, West Ham won 4-0. Are you taking the piss? So that means we're going to miss out on Champions League football, on goal differential. That is cruel, man. That is so cruel. We only had 6 losses all year. Those draws have killed us. Man City do end up winning the Premier League title, though. I'm frustrated to get 5th, man. Scrolling down the table, though, relegated sides, Burnley, Bournemouth, Blackburn. Blackburn, I hate you, Blackburn. You lose 4-0 and you just took up spot this season. Yes, I'm salty that you're the reason. I mean, we're technically the reason we didn't make Champions League, but you could have at least got a draw. We do win, of course, the Community Shield at the start of the season. And we take down Liverpool once again as we go back to back as FA Cup champions. Man United, that's a big rivalry there. Man United beating Leeds in the Carabao Cup final. Man City dominate Monaco to win the Champions League. We do not win a star-studded Europa League. Real Madrid beat PSG in the final. How did we go? In the prelims, round of 16, we got drawn up against Bayern Munich. We top our group and then get drawn up against Bayern Munich, which is brutal. And Fiorentina do win the Conference League. Cucho has had an insane season. 35 goals for the Colombian striker. 87 rated. I'm so glad we stuck with him. 19 assists there for Lorient. Man, I am so frustrated we're not in the Champions League next year because I genuinely thought we could have won it. I mean, 88, like, look how high rated our players are. 88 Schlager, 88 Eze, 87, 87. Oh my God. We could have won the Champions League next year. Jordan Ayew, though, will be leaving us. He will not be here for the remainder of his career, letting him go on a free. We need to go all out next year. We are going to put our foot on the gas. I don't want to just qualify for the Champions League. I don't want it to come down to the final day. I want to win the Premier League. Dean Henderson has been really solid for us. We need one of the world's best goalkeepers if we're going to get ourselves the Premier League title and the Champions League. Which is why we have gone to market and signed Gregor Kobel. He believes in the vision. He's one of the world's best goalkeepers at this point of the game. 90 rated Gregor Kobel. Will this be the missing piece? We do break the club record transfer fee and pay £86 million for him. Always trying to improve the squad depth here. We need another decent centre-back to go into the rotation, which is why we bring Trevor Chalobah from West London to South London. Chalobah joins us from Chelsea. He's decent as well. Like, I'm always trying to get utility players. We got Gonzalo Guedes last year, could play striker, left wing, right wing. Trevor Chalobah, centre-back, right back, defensive midfield, fills a whole number of positions. Not too crazy about selling big name players here, but there's a few of our lower players that are not really going to have that great a careers that I'm looking to sell. 64 rated Caden Rodney wanted out of the club, so we're going to send him to Poland on a permanent transfer. Keeping things pretty cruisy from the transfer department though. This team is insanely strong. I genuinely think we would have won the Champions League or at least gone deep if we were in it this year. So there is no excuses for us to not win a Premier League title and honestly not win the Europa League title. We can do that. We surely can. Our depth is unreal. Our reserves are unreal. We have got every position covered, it feels like. And again, this is a group we should be getting out of. Lyon pose the biggest threat, but we should be getting past Sturm Graz and Stade Bucharest. But let's see if we can actually live up to our expectations. 3 points away from the title. We're sitting third in the Premier League here in season number 4. That title is in our grasp. We're closer to first than we are fourth. Get it done, lads. Get those losses into draws and those draws into wins. Again, another undefeated group stage in the Europa League. We can't go out in the round of 16. But again, I mean, it should be expected, but there are some big name teams in the preliminary round. Let's not get matched up with one of them again. I have been trying to sell this guy for the past few years. Every time I accept an offer, it breaks down in contract talks, but I'm not too caught up about this. Jack Wells Morrison off to Al Shabab on a free transfer. I'm pausing things on the final day again, lads, because look at the table. We could win the Premier League this year. Equal with goal differential with Man City. We need to win, and they have Arsenal. We need Arsenal to do us a favor. Arsenal beat us on the fight. We drew with Arsenal on the last day of last season. A draw for them again would be incredible, but we need to beat Nottingham Forest. This to win a Premier League title at Selhurst Park with Crystal Palace. Get the win. Get the win. We get the win. We get the win. Are we going to be Premier League champions? Please, Arsenal. Arsenal, where are you? I can't see it. I can't scroll down. We win. I couldn't see the result, but we have won the Premier League title. Come on, lads. You can see it just above my head, but on the final day of the season, City and Arsenal had a scoreless draw. We win the Premier League title, and we're going to be playing Champions League football next year. A ridiculous season, lads. Thank you, Arsenal. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Scrolling down, who got relegated? Fulham, Sheffield United, and Watford. Unfortunately, Man City did beat us in the Community Shield on penalties. And Man City also beat us in the FA Cup final. We could have had an FA Cup final quarterfinal three-peat. Man City have done one type of treble. They win the Carabao Cup. How'd we go? We made it to... We lost to Wimbledon in the 4th round. We stopped Man City from winning 5 trophies. Man City win the Champions League. We do not win the Europa League. Juve beat Porto on penalties. Who'd we verse in the last 16? We took down Borussia Dortmund in the last 16. Quarterfinal. We made it to the semis. We lost to Porto in the semis. Come on, man. And Wolfsburg are going to win the Conference League. This might be a stretch, but we were only a few tiny changes in results from winning 4 trophies this year. But at least we got the Premier League title. Cucho could be in line for a Ballon d'Or next year. 36 goals in all competitions. Lorient has had another incredible balanced season. Eze, the lads are just getting it done. I love it. Going to be saying goodbye to a couple more players though. We've just got so many players in this squad. I'm not worried about letting these lesser guys go. Grian, Wells Morrison, and Jaden Raymond all leaving on freeze. On to season 5 we go, and on to the Champions League. We are the Premier League champions, and we have to be one of the favorites to win the Champions League this season. And we're going to do everything in our power to make that a reality. We're going to sign one of the world's best centre-backs, sparing no expenses, breaking our club record transfer fee for the 2nd straight season, £110 million to bring William Saliba across from Arsenal. And even if we don't win the Champions League this year and we have to carry this rebuild on for a few more years, I'm trying to make sure we are going to be in a strong position for that. Picking up a huge bargain here, the Brazilian midfielder Angelo is joining us from Chelsea. This team is just about as talented as they come. We have so many world-class players in the starting 11, so many world-class players on the bench, and so much depth out here in our reserves. This team is just ridiculous, man. Absolutely ridiculous. But are we ridiculous enough to win a Champions League? A tough group here. Borussia Dortmund, who we beat in the Europa League last year, Sporting and RB Salzburg. We need to treat every game like it's life or death and get ourselves through to the knockout rounds. Confidence is feeling high right now, ladies and gentlemen. The confidence has never been stronger. Just one loss in this entire group stage, and it's no real surprise to see ourselves and Borussia Dortmund through, but I'm just happy we are through so comfortably. Round of 16 though, and we are going to have to remain locked in. I mean, Champions League football is never easy in the knockout rounds, but we're facing RB Leipzig. Grand scheme of things, probably the best case scenario, but still a tough opponent. We need to lock in though if we're going to go back-to-back as Premier League champions. I want us to go back-to-back as Premier League champions. I want to win every single trophy on offer this year. Wanting to win the Premier League again is all and well and good. It's going to help us long term, but this is our North Star. This is what we're here for. This is what gets us up in the morning. The Champions League. Knockout round time, away in Leipzig for the first leg. Lay the foundations. Come on, Palace. Come on, Palace. Oh my God. It's a murder. Olise and a Cucho brace. All right, that's better than laying the foundations. That is laying a smackdown on Leipzig. 3-0 up. We're at Selhurst Park. It would take one of the most monumental choke jobs for us not to get through to the quarterfinals. Destiny Udogie is suspended for the second leg here, which is kind of a blessing getting that one out of the way. Come on, lads. No injuries, no suspensions, and a 2-0 win. Cucho gets a yellow card. We win 5-0 on aggregate. My God. But Cucho is suspended for the first leg of the quarterfinals. We did not need that. And we've got Barcelona. We've got Barcelona in the quarterfinals without our star striker who gets almost 40 goals a year for the first leg. We need Gedesh to step up. We need the lads to step up and just continue scoring. I'm nervous about this one, lads. I'm not going to lie. We've got Barcelona. We're at Selhurst Park for the first leg. Step up, lads. It's a 1-1 draw. I'll take that. I will take that. We head to the Camp Nou for the second leg. Things all squared, but most importantly, Cucho comes back. Cucho is back. He needs to make it up for us. We've got a 1-1 scoreline here. The lads are full strength, but man, Barcelona are not an easy opponent. In the Camp Nou, the second leg, for a spot in the Champions League semis. We get there in extra time. Come on, lads. Cucho gets another yellow. Decore gets a yellow. Eze, though, in the 47th minute. They equalize for Ubalde, but Olise is going to get us through to the semi-finals in the 100 116th minute. That is a famous moment in Crystal Palace club history. Things do not get any easier though, ladies and gentlemen. Bayern Munich, the only non-English team remaining in the Champions League this season. Can we get past the side that eliminated us in the Europa League 2 years ago? Nobody suspended for the first leg here. I imagine that a few players, Doucouré most notably, are probably very close, but can we get a win here at Selhurst Park? First leg, and it is a 3-1 win. Come on. Lorient, Olise, and Eze, they get a red card through. Diego Lopez is going to be out for the second leg, and that is massive. A 3-1 lead to take back to Munich. We are in a really strong spot to go to a Champions League final, but there are a lot of variables that could stuff us up. I don't want any injuries, I don't want any suspensions, and I don't want to bottle it most importantly. Here we go, a 2-goal advantage. I was tempted to rotate, but we get the draw, and we get no injuries or suspensions. I'm more excited about that. We take a draw against Bayern Munich, and we are heading to a Champions League final to face either Man City or Liverpool. And there it is. Probably comes as no surprise considering how many finals we've versed them in this year, but Man City going for a second Champions League title. A look around the grounds here in season 5, it is Roma winning the Europa League. West Ham win another Conference League. They might be the first team ever to win 2 Conference League titles. Unfortunately, it was a 2-horse race this year, but we finished second in the Premier League to Man City, 82 points, 5 points away from them. We were so far ahead of third place. Scrolling down the table, the relegation zone is going to see Bournemouth, Wolves, and Luton Town going down. This is a good omen though. We win the Community Shield over Man City. Man City do win the FA Cup this year though. We made it to the semi-finals. It would have been truly remarkable if we made 4 FA Cup finals in a row. Arsenal do win the Carabao Cup there. We made the semi-finals in that competition as well. Again, I'm not trying to sound like a broken record, but it's very similar to last year. We were so close to, especially if we win the Champions League today, winning 5 trophies. Regardless though, fellas, we are trying to win our second trophy for the year, the biggest one of them all, the Champions League title, as we take on Manchester City. It's been a rivalry in this video so far, but can we win the biggest matchup in the rivalry to date? Away at the Bernabeu, one of football's most famous venues. Can we get the most famous result in Crystal Palace club history? They say down the line here, he's got the pace to get past Robertson. No real options. We're going to go back. That's a great ball. Cucho, what a blocker, Kanji. Got us in the counter. I'm stuck in 2 minds. I'm going to commit. They go for the long shot, which I'm happy to force most times. I'm going to float this one in again. Edison doesn't come off the line. Saliba, the defender with a rocket, almost ended up in the top corner. Bit of risk, but it's fallen nicely there. We're going to turn and run, tap it on. We got lucky there, but it's created a bit of an overlap. Foy's going to go early in there. Cucho scores it! I was debating going early, but we let the defender come in. Cucho off the left foot, slashes at it, and that is another goal for the career here of Cucho Hernandez, but arguably the most important there. What a finish. City have turned it on since we got that goal. They go for a shocking long shot. Kobel was way too casual about that though. Just hold on to possession. Yes, play it down the line. Can we get a goal at the end here? Feed it through. Oh, that's a shocking ball. All right, now you can blow your referee. Come on. Yes, lads. What a rebuild. We win the Champions League final with Crystal Palace. Come on, fellas. We built one of the best teams this year, won just about every single trophy in English football. And to top it all off, our captain, Mark Gay, is going to be the man to lift the Champions League title for Crystal Palace. There it is, lads. Come on, the Eagles. Lads, if you enjoyed today's rebuild, make sure you click here to subscribe and click here to watch another video.